Welcome to the Get Real with King Arthur show. And we're now near the Ides of March. But fortunately today, we have Queen Victoria with me on my left. And I'm going to interview her about her job or role in kind of leading me around and being my assistant. Now, I don't necessarily talk about my handicaps. I'm much more than my handicaps. I'm not like the person that wants to show off his operation, whether anyone wants to see it or not. But I am handicapped since I'm 92, and I'm not as capable as I used to be. My eyes are dimmed, my hearing is weakened, but as I say before, there may be snow on the roof, there's fire in the kitchen. But I couldn't do my work without the help of Queen Victoria here. And I want her to talk today. I'm going to ask her questions about the job of taking care of leading me around and assisting me. Why? Because you will probably run into people who need assistance, and eventually you may need assistance. So anyway, thank God we can help one another in life and have helpers. Now, the first question that I ask Queen Victoria is, have you been around visually handicapped people before a great deal or not?
No, not at all.
Not at all. So this was kind of a new experience for you.
Yes.
Being around, okay. So a learning experience for her. What surprised you most about blind people? I'm not totally blind. I'm about 3/4 blind. Macular degeneration, and so many of us older people have it. And so what, by the way, I had good eyes. I was in the Army. I didn't wear glasses until I was 30 years old. So my eyes didn't start to fade until I was in my 60s. Queen Victoria, what surprised you about the condition of being handicapped as I am? Or not, maybe nothing surprised you.
I don't know if anything necessarily surprised me. I can't think of anything, but I would say that I was surprised at your response to being blind. In the sense that you didn't allow it to keep you from doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
You kind of just worked around it and found a way to do what you've always done.
Well, thank you. And it is, I think, true that I have a clear mind. I know that. And if you have a clear mind, you can do a lot of things. I'm not poverty-stricken. I have a good retirement, and that's important too, so I can get help. What is it like? I have a walker, a wonderful walker from Denmark. It's made of carbon. It weighs only 12.5 pounds. I can carry it up and down stairs. And what is it like kind of directing me around? Now, I've told Victoria and others, it's better off not to hold my walker and direct me around. but say right, left, a little bit right, a little bit left, and she's very good at that. What's it kind of like to have to figure that out? Sometimes you're facing the other way around when you talk to me, and your right is my left.
Yeah, sometimes we get mixed up, but I think it's I mean, it requires patience and it requires being attentive to you, but I think you generally know the direction you're going in, which is interesting. You're not like totally lost. It seems like you know where you're going.
Usually,
Yeah,
but
usually.
not always.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm totally mixed up. In my own house, I got mixed up a couple times. As you say, you've got to be very attentive because, I'm not, I could run into something or I could go off course, or fall on the grass, whatever. By the way, I fell only once, knock on wood. I was in the gym and I was with a mobility cane. Do not, if you are severely visually handicapped, do not rely on a mobility cane. If you can't see the ground, you need a walker. Now, before I got my walker, I was taking the bus down to my gym on Broadway, downtown San Diego, and I had to cross the street to catch the bus. And the curve, it was about 5th Avenue. The curve was irregular, I'll put it that way. And so I felt the curve, but it was irregular, and I started weaving around. And I was weaving around, and I almost fell right on the street. So you're trying to figure the sidewalk, and some of the sidewalks in San Diego are horrible. Don't rely on the mobility cane. I like the mobility cane, but don't rely on it. Get a walker. Now swallow your pride. I'm not ashamed of being handicapped at all. And again, I wrote a book on it called I Sees the Blind Man. Queen Victoria, how do people react to me? Do they realize that what's going on or not?
Well, your eyes are blue, so I don't think everyone knows that you're blind. I don't think people know that you're blind or that you have a hard time hearing. So people kind of treat you just like you're old, but but they don't know that they can't see you.
In my walker, Julie, my previous assistant, we had a little tape saying, "I am blind," but it's not very obvious,
Yeah.
People don't see it, and I don't want to yell out, "Blind man, blind man, blind man," but I do walk slowly. There's no way I can go fast, and that's a little frustrating, isn't it, Queen Victoria?
Yeah, it's fine. I think people if they're behind you trying to get through, you test their patience. You grow their patience.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's days you walk faster than other days. Sometimes you're tired, I can tell, or more energy.
Yeah, and sometimes I'm uncertain of the area and I go slowly. For example, in the restaurant, I have to avoid the tables, and it's not easy. And I have to steer between the tables, and I don't want to run into a table, sit in some lady's lap or something, or one of the tables. She might not like that. And so I go slowly. And slow is the name of the game. When I had my mobility cane, before I fell. I said I fell one time. Oh boy, broke my hip, fractured my hip. I ran to catch the bus, and at the bus stop, what I didn't see is there was a bicycle lying flat on the ground, and I fell right on top of the bicycle. Didn't hurt anything. So I said, no more running. And with I'm telling you about all my health problems here. When I have an artificial knee, it works well. But the doctor said, no crawling, no kneeling, no running. And I've kept that instruction. Yeah. So the knee works good. So what about the hearing problem I have?
What about it?
What's it like? Tell the gory details, Queen Victoria.
Sometimes I have to. Well, not anymore because we got you that hearing aid.
I've had a hard time getting
Yeah.
good hearing aids. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes I have to like echo into your ear so that you can hear me better, or yell as loud as possible. Yell and enunciate at the same time.
Ah, yes, enunciate.
But I think definitely there have been days where you could not hear almost anything I was saying. And then now you can hear almost everything I'm saying.
Well, I tried hearing aids in my ears and spent a lot of money for them. Disaster. They fell out of the ears. You had to keep fiddling with them, little tiny things. And finally, I went to what I have now, with the old-fashioned something over my, over my head, and
Headphones.
It's headphones, yeah. The old-fashioned thing, and they were cheaper than all this newfangled stuff that we have. What would you say to caregivers like yourself, working with a person who needs special help? What advice would you give them?
I would say like more encouraging advice would be just to have patience.
Yeah, with a little patience, right?
Yeah, I think
we can do a lot.
patience is the biggest thing.
We can do a lot.
You need to have
Yes,
patience.
I thank God for helpers and Victoria. You know, what could I do? She drives me to work and leads me to the restaurant and orders things with the computer. I'm hopeless. And so anyway, so there are more ways to skin a cat than one. And I would encourage you to live life as fully as you can, and you can live very fully. Mm-hmm. I have Alexa. It's a godsend. It reads to me. Queen Victoria gets the books for me, orders them. And I have discs from the Library of Congress with books. Marvelous. I have a reading machine which will read old type, but not new type. And so I'm reading now more than I've ever read. And I'm getting an education. I have a theory that no matter how much you've been to school and how much you know, if you stop learning, you're going to go backwards. And no matter how little you know, if you're learning, it's a wholesome thing. Yeah. So this question is, how much do you know or don't know? The question is, are you learning? Are you open? Are you learning? Dr. Johnson, the 18th century writer whom I love. Oh, I love the book Boswell's biography of Johnson, The Life of Samuel Johnson. It is a riot. And he said that the big business of life is to escape from yourself. Stop, look at your own navel. Look at get new ideas all the time and discuss things. And remember the formula for a happy old age, ABC: autonomy, bonding, creativity. And I have all three. Thanks to people like Victoria who helped me so much. Well, I hope you were encouraged to get help if you need it and to give help as you are able. So, thank you for listening. Take care. And